Hello, everybody. I'm SonnyLasVegas. I'm a full-time reseller, entrepreneur, artist, connoisseur of potato chip bags. I love all flavors. And today I finally have Ken to join myself and
Hey,
Jimmy, but they also have their own podcast together, which is funny to say, hey, I have them two on because I usually have Jimmy on.
Yeah.
Um,
yes.
and I'll let them share who they are, what they do, and then dig into some questions about their new channel that they have. And if you have any questions, make sure, if anything, subscribe first, hit the thumbs up button, and chatter away. Introduce yourself, gents.
All right. I'll go first since I'm the star of the podcast. So
Yes.
Jimmy Old
Yes.
School Flips, the star of the Reseller Clickbait podcast. I'm just playing. So yeah, I'm a full-time reseller on eBay. I am a YouTuber. I'm now part of a podcast, and I go live with Sonny
Sunday.
the Sunny every. See, we were talking about cake, and now I'm thinking about Sunday. You guys got me all confused,
He's all confused by cake.
right? Cake. So yeah, and then every Thursday I'm on here with Sonny, joking around, having fun, and so every once in a while we do some serious talk. Every once in a
Not today, though. That's
while. If
probably
you're
not
talking
going to
our
happen.
podcast, you can't be serious at all.
I don't take anything serious.
It's a problem. It's a problem.
So, is it my turn?
You know what? I'm going to
Are you
talk
done?
over you like the podcast.
Okay, perfect. Hey, my name is Ken, SSK Promo, Mr. Bill, Wilson, Ronnie Hart. I gained a couple of new names here this week. And I'm also a full-time reseller. Been doing that about 2.5 years full-time, and also the secondary party on the Reseller Clickbait podcast. You know, the insignificant part. Everybody comes to see Jimmy, and I see Joe Philly Picker in the chat. There's Kacherka 25. Hi, Jimmy and Ronnie. So that's me. That's what I do.
That's
Silence. No, so
That's it.
it's funny that you said those nicknames. I haven't watched the new because there's another podcast out there, not quite as good as ours.
No.
It is called the Trash to Cash podcast. I haven't watched the new one because I'm saving those episodes for my drive to the 127. I'm gonna
Yeah, a
listen
whole
to
month
them.
from now.
It's gonna be a long drive. I need as many episodes as I can get to listen to for that drive. So I'll have four or five to listen to by then. That's not gonna last the whole trip. So in that episode though, I did watch a little bit at the beginning where
Yes.
they're like Jimmy, they're talking about the podcast, Jimmy, and then what's the other guy's name?
Yeah.
Like,
What's that sketch by woman's name?
Ronnie. They gave him like all these different
Greg or Bob or Ronnie.
Pretty funny.
So
So yeah.
those guys are great over there.
Yeah.
Speaking of Trash to Cash podcast, did y'all notice my misspelling?
I did. That's why I said we're going to do a podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, is that why you said?
So
didn't
Kevin
know.
Commonwealth Picker commented on Instagram saying, "Oh, podcast is easy." So it's minimal currency to have any money to run it. So all you need is 2 sticks, some aluminum foil, and no overcast. And I think you might get a neighborhood, but I don't know which neighborhood you're trying to go for.
That's
Like
how
the
that's how
MacGyver
Kevin
of
sets up his
podcasts.
internet, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
That Virginia, Central Virginia internet.
As you said, Central Virginia, I was thinking more like Mountain Virginia, and I was thinking of like moonshiners and like some Daisy Dukes, some really high muddy boots,
Right.
and some beautiful calves that they have. You know, got some calves behind them, the mountain boys.
I'm going to ask Kevin if he's got those beautiful calves.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure
Oh,
he does.
Ella,
We get him in a pair of Daisy Dukes one of these days.
Ella, I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Oh, that's awesome.
I still haven't made a video to say thank you, but for super chats. But thank you so much. I believe you're my 4th one. And what I am actually doing on my Mac computer, I'm saving these little highlights to highlight them in future videos. And that's one thing I've been doing with my personal videos, my pre-recorded ones, which aren't really pre-recorded too far or too behind. It's usually like the day of that I record or the day before, and I unleash them. With the amount of time I've been having to take to record my videos, like edit them, it's been taking me 10 to 10 and a half hours. So
Wow.
the 2 last videos, that's a complete day. So that's a whole day out of the week. And this $5 to include what other people have donated is going towards the new computer. So thank you, Ella.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Nice.
Yeah. It's a game changer.
It is.
I see Roman in the chat as well, a fellow Ohioan. What's up, Roman?
Roman just had a live with Derek and Regina. And it caught on fire even more towards the end. I like the way Derek always says, I'm just gonna leave on a note. And it's like a hot-winded, like heated note that you can't just stop talking about. You gotta get it off your chest. But getting off your chest in a different aspect, you two started a podcast on top of what you already do. Did you have anything besides a vague idea of, hey, let's start a podcast? Or did you go into thought of it, of what you wanted to do with it? Something a little bit like to plan to be more than just momentarily, something for the long run.
Well, if you've ever listened or watched a podcast, you can tell there's absolutely no planning whatsoever.
Not at all. We've actually tried it a couple times, and it works better when we don't plan anything.
Just come up with a general topic. But there was just a discussion. Jimmy and I were talking one day, and he's like, hey, you interested in doing a podcast? And we kicked around some ideas, what we wanted to do. And I think first and foremost, what you got to do to start a podcast is design a really cool logo. And we put Jimmy in charge of that. And
it was the worst logo. It was the worst logo. Now, it would have worked for what I was doing this last week, fishing. That would have been the perfect logo for the Minnesota fishing trip.
Yes.
Here we go. They're rolling in with the super chats now.
Yeah, here we go. Keep it going. Super chat
Eric,
train.
what's up? May A. That's cool name.
Sonia said, "There's 3 of my favorite people. Hi, fellas."
I'm like looking
I
for
would
the other 2.
That Jimmy was one of them.
1, 2, and then
yeah. Where's
that's for last? You 3.
Maybe she meant Jill in the chat.
Yeah,
Maybe
Jill is in the chat. That's who she's talking about for sure.
Oh, the people in the chat. So it's not even us.
It's not even us. Yeah.
Look at me thinking like big-headed that it's about us.
3 favorite guys. She's talking about Joe, Philly Picker, and Roman.
And Marcus, who I have right here.
That's
What's
yeah,
up,
the podcast, obviously we were inspired by other podcasts, just enjoying them. And like, I like the way they're able to, what inspired me is, I love lives. Lives are fun, but sometimes to have another way to share stuff with where you can just focus on what you're talking about, because it's fun to bring the chat into it, but sometimes you want to just stick on a topic and talk about it. And podcast gives you, that's why I know you're interested, Sonny, because I know you won't stop the lives, but to be able to just focus on topics and be able to stay on that topic, it's just a different way to do things, and it's fun,
Hey, we should try coming up with a topic sometime, Jimmy. On the
hey,
that's a good idea.
No way.
Write that down.
Ella, and we have Eric OBX Picker. Ella, thank you once again. If you can on Instagram, send me your address. I'd like to send you a SonnyLasVegas goodie.
See what's going
as a thank you.
I need to get one of those.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I need to get one of those crispy white SonnyLasVegas hats.
I've been trying to get one for a while now.
I need to put all my
Jimmy, I have
SonnyLasVegas pins.
I forgot to give it to you when you were here, and then I thought about it the other day. I was like, why is it? Did I make an extra hat? And I was like, oh crap, that's Jimmy's hat. So nobody else was getting one until Jimmy gets one, which is going to be soon, because I just did the 3 videos. Well, kind of, sort of of like thank you as to get monetized for everybody's thing. And tonight after this live, I'm gonna do a little that random picker and put it up on a YouTube short, like I said I would in the community tab as a thank you. But it's not just to that person that won it; it's to everybody. So just one of them sides. So Jimmy, you said kind of plan and focus on a topic, and Ken here was thinking what I was thinking. Like, wait, what topics?
No, I'm
like,
not
we need
saying
to focus on topics.
We don't plan them, but you don't get. I don't want to put down lives, but the chat will, no matter which way. Sometimes the chat will take you off a topic in a totally different direction, like just out of nowhere, right? Where on a podcast, when you do get on the topic, you can stay on it, finish what you want to say about it, joke around with each other, and then sometimes you'll stay on the same topic for the whole podcast. It never changes. And so I like that aspect of it. Like we can just, it's totally different. It's just so different. That's all. And it gives you a different way of expressing what you do and expressing yourself. I don't know how to explain it. Can you tell?
Yeah, what Jimmy said. No, yeah, it's that the podcast format is there again. You don't get interrupted or by the chat. It's always great to see the comments afterwards to see, what people did pick up from. It's amazing what people will notice in the show that wasn't really like the main topic. But we usually we throw together some general guidelines, I guess. In the beginning, we tried full note pages, and that really didn't work out because it didn't seem natural and fun. So
we were like, on today's episode of the podcast, we are going to talk about how to sell on eBay.
Hey, Jimmy, how about that airline food? And then we would.
Angel says, "What's up, Jimmy? Hi, Sonny. What's up? Notice how I'm more excited to see Jimmy.
Why? What did I do? I appreciate it though. I'm excited.
We got Leroy in the house. Thank you, Leroy. Let me take a screenshot of this. Appreciate the $2 chat.
Oh, that's my Tuesday.
Tomorrow I will be working on a reel for these super chats. I'm gonna have it done tomorrow. On top of that, today was the last minute, and this is all my fault. Like I know I do these every Thursday, but I wait till the last minute. It's like the story of my life, and I need to change. Just like being organized. Like I'm not gonna move the T-shirt here because I've been telling Jimmy like I'm trying to do it, and I am. But there's a lot going on, especially when family comes down. I get taken away from what I want to do. But at the same time, mutually, I do want to spend time with family. So with that, how do you two, Jimmy, you just left. You're a little burnt out from the last time we talked. Are you refreshed now that you're back?
Today, I felt like, because Monday and Tuesday, I drove back from Minnesota. So I got back and I was tired. I got back kind of early on Tuesday at like 3 p.m. my time, and I just I crashed. Then yesterday I had the big get together with all the local resellers going to Thursday, and then Danica Lady Luck Junk came up here from Texas. So yesterday was a whirlwind. It was a blast, and then after that, I finally was like. But today I woke up feeling pretty good, refreshed, and like ready to work on my content, my YouTube, and to work on the eBay. So from that standpoint, yeah, I'm ready to rock and roll. And I was just telling them on my phone, I didn't take it. I kept it in the cabin while I was out fishing, while I was hanging out. I literally didn't have my phone with me.
That's a good plan.
That was the whole point of it, was to unplug. Because if I have my phone in my hand, I'm on it, looking at social media, we're looking at eBay, trying to think of ideas of what to do, and I just needed to unplug from that. So it was pretty awesome.
And Ken, what did you do while Jimmy's away? Did y'all work on some videos?
I
beforehand.
Sat curled up in the fetal position in the corner, finding a way for Jimmy to get home. But no, you know, I'm not real good at making. Oh,
Uh-oh. He broke it. He did it.
I'm not real good at making I'm sorry about that. At making content. I want to. I've got a lot of footage that I've done at yard sales here, and we had the big citywide sale that
He's got
Jill and I
footage
had
from
a lot
like
of fun.
6 years ago.
Yeah, yeah. I'll
He still
post
gotta
that.
put it together.
Hey, here's this bolo, these Tommy Bahama shirts that I found. Look for these, but
stuff.
Yeah, mostly while Jimmy was gone, I try to as a full-time reseller, I try to stay as structured as I can. You know, get up in the morning. I got a routine as far as, you know, packing and shipping first, and then get errands ran, then start to do my listings, and then of course we do our recording for the podcast in the middle of the week. And so once we've done that, Jimmy gets the video portion. Jimmy takes care of the video. I take care of the audio portion as far as uploading it to all of the podcast sites, the iTunes and Amazon, Google, Spotify, all of those. And so I carve out time for that. And then, but I do get off on a tangent sometimes. Yeah, I do a lot with my family, and that is an advantage of being full-time is, you know, you got to put the work in, but you do have that freedom of being able to just take off at the spur of the moment and do something.
Yeah, that is nice.
And Eric is on the same YouTube plan as
well,
I am.
Sonny, you've been on social media fire, I will say, especially on Instagram.
Yes.
You are.
Speaking of that, this goes hand in hand with Uncle Harry Humstone right here. I think what started me off more on YouTube, I knew I wanted to come back, like I've said before, and not disappear like I did before because of work. But
Yeah.
I knew if I wanted to do it full time to do reselling, that I wanted to do YouTube because I liked what I seen other people do, and I wanted to be part of this community that is like-minded. So with that, like it kind of came easier than what I thought. I thought it was going to take forever. And once I had the time to get myself situated, get things listing, prove to my wife that, hey, I'm making money. I don't need to go work for somebody else. I'm here. And she's kind of died down from me being a reseller to before it's like, hey, my friend has his job. They're really good jobs, like military jobs, GS level jobs. And I'm like, I don't want to do that anymore. You know, I'm just tired of that face to face with people, bumping heads and resolving issues. I'm like, I don't want to be an adult dealing with other adults.
Exactly.
That's the hard part, you know, that it really is, because it's big crybabies at times. So
yes, we are all children. That's for sure.
we are grown kids. So Harry was on earlier, and Tommy was on there, and Harry had mentioned how I've been growing and at my channel, right? And I said, you know, it really started with Tommy and Tracy when they said, hey, come on to my live. And I've never really heard Tommy give anybody shout outs like that. Like when I went on, he was like, hey, people follow him, you know? And he even would tell me, like, hey, let's try to work it out to where I tell people to go to you if you do lives after my show. So for anybody to be out there like that, to be thinking of me with what they do, I was like, there has to be something. So that's what started me to do it. And it started from Tommy and Tracy. And then after that, I believe Kat the Nurse Flipper asked me to go on hers. And as Jimmy and I have said, we've been following her around the same time. So just people out there in the community that have like, Sonny, where are you at? Why aren't you making videos? And it just woke me up even more. So that's why I do these Thursday lives, because I want to bring people on and not have it be so hard for them as it was how I started. You know, it took forever to kind of grow, and I think it has to do a lot with me because I didn't put in enough effort. I thought one video a week was enough. For some people it is, but for some people it's not, and you got to put in more work. Doesn't mean you're putting in harder work. You know, everybody's 100 is 100. Everybody's hard is hard. You know, everybody's easy. It's easy after you've gotten over your humps. So I'm just very happy where I'm at, and I'm glad you guys are on, and we're here to talk about you though with your podcast.
That's my favorite subject. Me.
Kind of with what you said, like a lot of this, like with the podcast, the decision to, you know, I came to Ken and I asked him if he wanted to do it because I had to sit down with myself first though and decide and that if there was something I could take on, and then if I do, I have to make sure that I have the time to do it, you know. And so I think that doing YouTube helped me, you know, the pre-recorded stuff and the lives I used to do helped me understand how much work it is and how much time it does take. And now it prepared me to take on the stuff I take on now. You know, when you asked me to, you know, when we kind of talked about me coming on the live permanently, it was a easier thing for me to step back and look like, can I take that on? Do I have the time? You know, with everything, you know, with the pre-recordeds I'm doing and what I'm doing with eBay, and kind of almost, you know, I don't have a schedule, but like I know what I need to get done every week and every day, how much I need to get done. And so I think you probably had like a similar moment where you had to step back and like, what is it going to take for me to stay consistent, you know? And you had a better idea when you came back and you could almost have like a plan. And so the podcast, you know, that, you know, we kind of, you know, me and Ken kind of knows it's like the back burner thing. Like I still give it a lot of focus, but sometimes it's like, man, you know, I'm doing my best, but it won't be till later till I get to it because I got this other stuff going on. Ken's totally cool. He understands. He helps me as much as, you know, we both work together on it a lot. We both took on a lot of, you know, he took on the audio, I took on the video, and he's always like, you know, if there's anything I can do to help you with the video and vice versa. So it's been definitely a team effort, and it's going really good. And I do think some of my previous experiences on YouTube, you know, whether they totally failed miserably or not, they helped me with the decision I'm making now. Was that a really long, weird answer?
That was pretty winded. I actually clocked out when you.
I thought, yeah, I mean, you usually do that in the podcast too. He's clocked out for most of the podcast. Sometimes I'm just like, is he frozen? And he's just
like. Anyways, yeah, it's the podcast has been fun. I don't have a real big YouTube or social media presence, just because I don't produce a lot of content, but it's something that really interests me. And you know, doing the podcast is fun. I get to do it with Jimmy, who I've been following since back in the Uncle B days.
Uncle B, man,
and
that guy.
And so yeah, I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. We goof around. I'm all the time thinking of, you know, new topics. Any of the really good shows though have always been Jimmy's idea. Usually the ones that are blown is like, let's do this. Like, no.
I'll take credit for the bad ones.
Does Jimmy send you a list and you just have your sharper ready, like deny.
Actually,
wait, he denies. I need to give him a chance. Like, all right, we'll try this one. No, deny.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's yeah, I come up with all these ideas, and Jimmy usually has to calm me down a little bit about what might work. I mean, nobody really wants to hear about why my, you know, underwear come out of the washer or dryer inside out. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure that one out.
Jimmy, what are some of the topics that Ken has talked about that you're like, nah?
I don't know, like it's all been fun, but like, you know, he has like what 75 different domain names that he owns. Yeah. So like when he was listing them off, I was like, well, that's an interesting domain name to have, and like that he owns. And so like, you know, but it's still funny. Like, we did the dad joke special. It's got mixed reviews.
Yes,
because it was fun, but then there's a lot like we were supposed to try not to laugh, so there's a lot of moments with silence. We're just like,
Yeah,
trying
we
not to-
could have went about that a little bit differently, but
right. But no, for the most,
it's
I think the biggest thing we had that I said we have to cut out was the fact that the first episode PowerPoint presentation before the show, a pep talk. We had these, we had all kinds of, we had a Word document that was like 5 pages long of all how the show's gonna go. That
well,
was
it's only
that was the
5
worst.
pages long because it was in like 48-point type, so I could see it.
Ken uses very big font.
48.
So like there's like
Because it's usually 12, right?
yeah. So we had to scrap that pretty quick and just I came into it thinking I just want to kind of freestyle it, let's have topics, but let's not like try to break it down into segments or anything. Let's just if we talk about the first topic the whole show, then the show was a success. Like if we're laughing and joking about the first topic and that's all we talk about the whole time, and there's no break in the conversation, then the show was a success. Who cares if we never made it to topic 3 or 4 that we had written down? And that's kind of where we've moved to. We'll write down topics. I'll write them down. Ken puts them in 48 font on a piece of paper and prints them out so he can see them. And we'll just, if we make it, sometimes we won't even make it to the first topic until halfway through the show because we're still on the intro, And to me, that's when it's the best. That's when it's the best. When we're joking around, having fun, and we're making fun of something that happened or something that, we talked about on Instagram. We definitely watch a lot of YouTube, and that's a lot of what we talk about, what we see other creators create, like other videos, like if it's a hot topic that week or whatever. So, and we'll just joke about it and have fun and hopefully not upset anybody.
Is it getting easier as you continue to make like one more podcast to where you're becoming in sync with one another?
Yeah, definitely. Ken, I mean, you could tell them about the switch we decided to make, but I think that more than anything, it helped Ken, and he's like rolling now ever since we did that.
Yeah, at first because I hadn't really done any lives or anything, even though it's just a recorded podcast, there was nerves there. That's why I had all of the notes, and we had decided because Jimmy's done a lot of lives. He had a number of different shows out before, and it was always he was always kind of like the lead, the quarterback of the show. And so we decided at the beginning, hey, he asked, you want to quarterback the show? Do you want to be the lead and go from there? And that after about 3 episodes or so, we decided that really wasn't working. I didn't have because I was too structured, trying to follow notes,
focused on other things.
And so I was, rather than getting that flow going of a show where we're just laughing and staying on topic, I was always worried about getting to the next topic or trying to get through the list within the time frame. That we try to do about a 45-minute show. 45 minutes to an hour is what it usually ends up to be. And so we decided to make a switch in the 4th episode. Jimmy started to be the quarterback of the show, and that was probably one of our best, funnest shows because I'm more of a reaction guy. I can build on a topic and have fun, and not having that pressure of being the main guy and guiding the show. And Jimmy's just kind of a natural at that, or has become a natural with all of the lives and stuff that he's done. So I think we're getting a better rapport together, and it's fun. The last episode that was the dad joke show, that was a little slow. Times it was a great idea, but we could have done it a little bit different. But got to have Dan the Answer Man as a special guest, which is always good to see Dan.
Yep.
And so we got some ideas coming up. We took the week off with Jimmy being on vacation. We do have an episode that's in the can, as they say, that's ready to to come out, and we're going to get back on our regular schedule,
regularly scheduled program,
and just gonna go nuts from there. So, and the channel's grown. We're we slow each week we get new subscribers, we get more and more views each time. So I'm pleased with it, with where we're at.
And Craig here is asking Landshark Picker, hello buddy. What is a podcast in your own definition?
I have no idea. I just show up and I
No,
go ahead.
A podcast is generally intended to be an audio only format. Even though we record it and it's on YouTube as well, it's supposed to be listened to while you're driving, while you're working out, while you're just want some noise in the background. And so to me, a podcast is really an audio format where you can enjoy it just as much without the video content as you can, with the video content. So
you have to really focus on your microphone sound and make sure it sounds really good, and use a different voice while you're doing a podcast so that people kind of get like a monotone sound, and it's almost like ASMR.
Hey, welcome to the Reseller Clickbait podcast. It's Kevin and Jimmy here with you live.
Radio. That's fit. You went back on us there a little bit.
That was still good though.
So Landshark Picture
podcast before wasn't like it is with the social media today. People on social media want more and more and more. They just don't want to hear at times. But one thing I wish YouTube would do, like Spotify does, I listen to Cary Reseller Luis's podcast on Spotify, and that's audio. You could not necessarily close out of the app, but it's behind, it's still an open app. Your phone's closed out of it. You don't have to have it like on YouTube, say on your phone. Once you close, it closes too. Like I would like to, when I'm driving, listen in, because sometimes I'm here at home and I'm got to go to gym, but I'm already invested and want to listen to what happens next rather than, being distracted that I'm going to look down at my phone because I have it open, like I would like YouTube to have that and still credit that time towards, say, a view,
That's actually a really good idea.
Yeah,
I listened to the Trash to Cash podcast all the way to Minnesota, and it was a totally different show. That's another thing that's cool about, it's a totally different show than just the audio version, and it's actually better. You could almost say it's better to listen and not see what's going on, just listen to what they're saying. And that's a big part of the podcast is you have to keep talking. You don't dead air is obviously is the worst thing. Like like I do the Tuesday lives with Eric, and there's a lot of time where we're working and it's really quiet. That would never work in a podcast. Like people be like, what's going on here? Like, why has there been in the last 45 seconds of pure silence?
Which is one of the beauty parts in the software that I use to do the audio portion is there's a silence remover. If it detects so much silence, it can cut that out. And
there's an app for that.
Yeah.
So I see Landshark Picker saying, do we have to listen to it on an iPod?
Yes.
You do.
Yes, you do. Actually. You have to go buy an iPod.
Yeah, you do.
The iPod, that's the only format that we put it out on. And we are coming out on vinyl soon. We're going to start cutting records.
We're just going to mail those out free of charge at our expense.
Yeah, Eric, we're working over here. Good line from Leroy about the Tuesday working show.
So with your audio, have you considered starting something like Spotify where you just already take your pre-recorded YouTube, just get the audio and then put it on that?
Well, that's what I do. That's the portion that I do. I take the audio, and you can actually listen to it on through Spotify, through Google Podcasts, through iTunes, through Amazon. If you have an Amazon Echo device, you can just say, let's see, I got one right. Alexa, play the Reseller Clickbait podcast.
No, I don't hear her.
This is
You
Alexa.
got your,
Never
you
heard
got
of
your
it.
game right.
Alexa, stop. So you can just yell out to your Echo device and it will play the most current thing. And there's a few others. So any place that if you just go and search Google for the Reseller Clickbait podcast, it'll come up with different options and formats. And I think the YouTube might show up first, but we're on all the major audio platforms and whatever device you want to listen to.
8-track.
Quadraphonic, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
I set off Rosie's Alexa. Oh, stop.
She's still talking.
We need to get.
That's actually a funny topic in one of our episodes where I couldn't get it to play the dang podcast. It kept playing like polka music, like it didn't understand what I was saying. And then Sonia says it one time and it starts playing the podcast right away. I was like, what the heck?
Play the Reseller Clickbait podcast.
She said, can you play that thing on podcast thing? And it started playing it right away. I was like, Alexa, can you play the Reseller Clickbait podcast? And it's all now playing the Ritchie Brothers polka band. And I was like, what
Gus
the heck?
Polenski and the Kenosha Kickers.
Yeah, the Kenosha Kickers. And so Sonia's all, let me show you how it's done over here. So you play that thing, all things called a podcast. And it started playing the dang podcast.
Gee, I wonder
I might
why.
be exaggerating a little bit, but that's how.
I wonder why Jimmy's not included in Sonia's 3 favorite people on this podcast.
Because he can't play the banjo.
I started playing over my dead body. That's exactly right. That's funny. That was a fun episode though. Like we made fun of that a little bit.
Yes.
I didn't
Good
know it was
time.
on a podcast, but I'll. You have the links in the video of the clickbait podcast for the Spotify.
We are working on that. I don't know if
That's where I've let us down.
Yeah, Jimmy failed. So if you can't click through from YouTube, that's Jimmy's fault.
My fault.
But
100%.
just,
Did you even send me those links? Did you send me those?
Oh, pointing fingers now.
I know you sent them to me on Instagram messages, but we're gonna have a meeting right here live on your show. Sonny, if you don't mind, we're gonna have a meeting real quick. You were supposed to send me. Oh, check your inbox now. Huh? Yeah, so I mean, we're working on it. That's where it's kind of the back burner thing. I know we talked about it, and I know it's my responsibility to add them to the YouTube. It just hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, but like I say, if you just Google Reseller Clickbait podcast, you will. Let me see what comes up when I do that.
I think you can
talk amongst yourselves.
So, how to start a podcast? You find someone that knows how to do the audio stuff, right here, and ask them to do that.
What does that entail, Ken? What's the audio entail?
Yeah, because I have no idea how that stuff works. I know we're on a beanbag. What's it called?
Podbean.
That's the one.
Podbean. Okay, so I had to learn a lot of this. I've always had some skill with mixing audio, and I just use a free program called Audacity that I use to mix the audio and such. But you have to have a podcast hosted on a site someplace. I researched some of that, and there's a place called Podbean that hosts the podcast where all the files are uploaded, and then that creates what's called an RSS feed, and that is what goes out to iTunes or Google Podcasts and the Amazon stuff, so that it links back to where that's hosted.
You might want to be careful how much information you give me, because
you could cut me out.
Yeah, I won't need you if I know how to do this.
Because everybody just wants to hear Jimmy ramble on for 45 minutes by himself.
That's what we do. I interrupt him the whole show.
I did Google Reseller Clickbait podcast. Yeah,
I thought of Johnny Depp when his partner like, tell me, George, Come on, George. He's trying to get the middleman and then cuts out Johnny Depp. What's up, Daniel? Did you see Chris's comment? You're asking these two guys how to start a podcast? Oh boy.
It's like asking Chris how to do a live. Ooh.
And yes, I
Oh.
am asking.
Mic
I am
drop.
asking them particularly, not only because Jimmy's here on the live, but
That
this
was
is
me
still
dropping
fresh
my
for
mic,
them. You
Chris.
know, like there's a lot of stuff that I'm pretty sure they're learning along the way. So I figured, why not start from the beginning? And I think that's the best place to learn, because even as reselling, some people ask you, like, do you remember your first reselling video? And you're like, you may remember the item that you have, right? That one item that you're like, I remember this first video, but do you remember any other items from that video besides that one? I don't. I just remember that one, and everything's kind of like a blur, you know. And I don't go back in my old videos because I look at the way I looked and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
if
like
you want to
Facebook
see
memories.
comedy,
It's like a slap in the face, like, stop it. Go
My
to the
first
gym.
if you want comedy, you got to go back and watch Jimmy's first
I recommend it to everybody.
video. Old School Flips. Go follow, like, subscribe to his channel, and
Yep.
go back and find his first video.
Pretty bad. That guy, I don't know how he made it through that first couple years, actually.
It's awkward when you first start doing something. I could imagine for the podcast, like you mentioned earlier, as you do, say, reselling videos, right? Like the content that we share, it gets easier and easier. There's still some moments where I get a little shy in public, or I'm talking normally in larger crowds, but then in smaller crowds, I'm like, oh, you know, I crawl back in my shell. It happens. But I think that's a good sign, because you're cautious of other people and not ignoring, you know, things like if you feel comfortable, go along with it. If you don't, then yeah, it's okay to not talk and do what you can, you know, voiceovers and things like that. There's so
Right.
much options to get your point across.
Yeah, that's what's nice about. Like, there's been a couple times in the podcast where we're like, oh, we gotta go stop what we're doing, time out.
Yeah.
Like, mark that, you know, clap really loud so there's a big audio spike or whatever, so I know to cut that out.
For those in
Yeah.
the chat, how much of y'all follow Jimmy and Ken with their podcast, Clickbait Podcast?
Pretty fun stuff.
Any emoji, a number one, number two, doesn't matter.
So I did Google Reseller Clickbait Podcast. The first thing that comes up is from Amazon Music. It's on there, so you can get it. Then the Podbean, then YouTube, TuneIn, Apple Podcasts.
We're sort of a big deal.
Yeah.
Did we get any bad reviews like Dave asked?
Oh, we did.
Nice.
Len 5280 Fines commented that Trash to Cash podcast, that he was sent over there by Trash to Cash, and that it was the worst podcast that Trash to Cash is the worst podcast that he's ever listened to, that it makes no sense and those guys don't know what they're talking about. So he followed along with the instructions that Dave had given out. So
yeah, actually,
yeah. Chris Cajun,
he's our best clickbait we've done. The one where his plush are attacking him.
Yes.
It actually turned out like that's our best, other than the reseller rally one, that's our best clickbait video.
That was a good video, because I've said before, I've heard a lot of stories about the reseller rally, and every time I hear about it, it's just more and more stories, and it's not the same thing because it's different points of view. Just like when me and Danny, the niche lady, and Cary or Mikey Bags of Money go to the same thrift store at the same time, you're looking at two different things, you know, even if you're shoulder to shoulder by each other, elbow to elbow. It's just, we see differently, we talk differently, different views.
Yeah. That's like that trip to the bins yesterday, man. The stuff that people are finding that I would never even think to find. That's so to have it, to compare that to the point of views of how things, you know, how people.
Hey, Puffles.
Oh, sorry.
All good.
I couldn't believe that in that video, all those resellers together, and everybody had full cart of just really great stuff. It's like in one and I go to the thrift store and I come out with like 2 or 3 things, and you got 7 people there and they're filling their carts, which is
you know, we all as content creators, most of us failed miserably. I think Liz at Colorado Rewarn, who's mainly on Instagram and TikTok, was the only one that got video, and it was just a split second of Danica, Lady Luck Junk. So anybody that's been in the bins know there's a lot of strict rules, right? Well, when they're moving the bins out and putting the new ones in, you cannot go past the yellow line. Like at this one, if you go past that yellow line, they will yell at you. They will absolutely yell at you to get behind the yellow line, right? So Danica wants to get yelled at. She's trying to get yelled at. So she puts on a fox outfit that she found in the bins, a full body fox outfit. She puts it on and she goes and runs around where they're putting the bins while they're moving bins. And there's like 6 workers moving bins, and she's just like shoes squeaking, just like squeak, 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 just running around in this fox outfit. And everybody, the 100 people around the bins, just like this. All 6 workers just stop. They're just like, it's just all you hear is her shoe squeaking. And then she jets out of there. None of us got it on video. And she comes back and she's like, I cannot get yelled at. Like, I am trying to get yelled at and they won't yell at me. Like, they just all, I was like, everybody had no idea. Like, everybody was just like in shock of what was going on. Like, nobody could believe that this lady in this fox outfit is running around the bins. But none of us, go check out Liz. She has a small portion of that video on her Instagram, Colorado Rewarn. Check her out on Instagram. She has a small portion of her running around in that fox outfit, and it was hilarious.
I was gonna ask and try to cut you off at the right time. What did the fox say? But I was too invested in the story.
It was, and like, but she should have let me know that I could have had the foot.
You could have.
I would have had the gold foot. No. But
one thing that stood out on Instagram from that was the huge racket, that tennis racket.
Yes.
So because she's like, my car's full. It's filled. I can't buy anything at the bins. And I was like, Danica, if you find stuff, I'll ship it to you. You're in Texas. It's not far.
Yeah.
I'll ship whatever you find at the bins to you. So, of course, she comes up. You going to ship this to me? This is literally this like 5 foot tall tennis racket that was custom made for like Andre the Giant.
Got Omar in the house.
What's up, Omar?
Yeah, I seen it and I was just like, whoa, that's a big tennis racket.
I was like, well, thankfully she didn't buy it and I didn't have to ship it to her. But I thought for sure I'm shipping that tennis racket to Texas. And it was like, by itself was like 5 feet tall. And when she held it up, like, it was like 10 feet in the air.
I was definitely going ground.
And she's wearing like this king's robe, so she's walking around like royalty with that thing. She's
like Rosie said there, Danica is a riot. Yeah.
She's hilarious. And she's also the sweetest, nicest person at the same time.
Yeah, it looked like you had a good time. And Ken's right. I started laughing when you're like, we're sitting out here. And Sonia was like, we're not sitting down, we're standing. I was just
like, to go with the dad joke on me. Come on. She brought out the old
like, wow, Sonia, like, just like, you got to share those moments. It's and you did, but I was just laughing. And then I'm looking at the carts, and like Sonia's finding all this stuff. You have stuff in your carts. Everybody else has carts. And I'm like, they probably just got in there, and it's like a honey hole right now for everybody, which is awesome. You want everybody to come out with good stuff, you know. Yeah, you don't want it one person, you know, just to be fair.
Well, it's kind of funny because I started, you know, I saw like we had bin shoppers, the people that love the bins. They didn't like, you know, they didn't love the thrifts. But then you had like Ginger Marvin. She killed it at that first thrift store. She found some amazing shoes and she did great. So Kathy did really good at the thrift. I did really good at the thrift. But then we get Kristen, a rural squirrel, and we get Danica, and we get them to the bins, and all of a sudden now they're, and Liz, they're just buying, like, they're finding amazing stuff at the bin. So it's like to see the different ways people source and how much better they are at the bins than I am. And
Yeah.
I don't want, or maybe more effort. Like when I get to the bins, if you saw there's a picture, I'm like this at the end. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's how I am after 15 minutes at the bins. I'm just like done.
Over it.
So it was fun to watch. It was fun to see how everybody else sources, to see someone that can be very successful with very minimal costs for their inventory.
Yeah.
That's why I like the bins. Ken, do you go out to the bins? Yeah, bins.
We don't have bins. My closest bins is probably just a little over an hour away. My local Goodwill, they were having some, what they called it, like pop-up sale, where they would have bins over at their kind of main warehouse. And they were doing that last year. They haven't done it this year at all. And I picked up a ton of stuff because a lot of people didn't know about it. They didn't really advertise it a whole lot. So I would get there, when it started. And the way that they did their sales was everything was 3 items for $2. 3 items for $2, or basically about 67 cents a piece if you bought in multiples of 3. And yeah, I would fill a cart and a half every time. And then sometimes I get there first thing. And then sometimes I would go back a little later in the day after they've really changed out a lot of the bins. And so I wish they would still do that, but I have not been to a full, like a Goodwill bins store. There are a few others local, but they're all like that. Like the pallet kind of stores where they buy all of the pallets and throw it in bins. And so
you guys, Danica at the bins, not just the Fox thing. That does, like, she would just be singing out loud like Backstreet Boys, and not, the entire place can hear her, right? And like people are just starting to move away from her, and she's like, clearing them out. I'm clearing them out. That's part of my story. You guys, it was so funny. Like, it was hilarious. Like, it's just so funny how there's different people there. Like, there's the t-shirt guys, the guys that are just looking for the vintage t-shirts. And then there's the people that are buying all the shoes. So it's just such a different experience. Like the bins here. And I've gone there enough now. Like, there's a couple people that I've talked to there that I know. And like, it's just such a different experience, the bins. I don't know if I could get used to it. I think maybe I could. I don't know. I haven't been there enough to say I could.
How far away are the bins from you, Jimmy?
25 minutes.
Okay.
But like our bins, the ones that are closest, it's in the middle of, like, it's called Commerce City, which is like our industrial city. And like it's smack dab in the middle of it. And there's like 5 parking spots. How are there 5 parking spots and then you go inside and there's 100 people inside? I don't know. They all carpool together, and then how do they get all their stuff home? Ask. There's nowhere to park. You can never find a place to park at that bins because it's just too small of an area. It's just there's big trucks parked everywhere, and there's people everywhere, and there's no parking.
I got somebody that asked to come in to the live tonight, and they wanted to let you know their 2 cents about your podcast. And then he also has some news about something you may be interested in, maybe not. He goes by the name. They have Nashville. They're out in the Nashville Flippers. This is not Ray. This is Dustin. They look very similar. I'm going to add them to the podcast.
That's not true. We look completely different. How are y'all doing?
Good.
Ken, Jimmy?
Yes, sir.
Big fan of the podcast.
Really? I appreciate that, man.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I listen to it at work. So, but
cool.
Sonny invited me on, and I was asking Sonny earlier today. I had this really strange idea to have, you guys, if you want to join in on this, to kind of, how the NFL and the NBA draft has, you draft, your players or whatever.
Yeah.
We need to do that with like a resellers. So we'll have like a pool of resellers, and then excluding us, of course, because we're all going first overall draft pick.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So
Like
have a
Heisman
pool.
Trophy winner of.
In normal
Exactly.
sports, I was always picked last, but in reselling,
Exactly. So have a pool of resellers, and then we pick, randomly who goes first, and we'll do like a snake draft. So the end person gets 2 picks, and then we'll just keep going back and forth. But for everyone in the chat and for you guys, I don't know, maybe our team will be like 5 each. 5 resellers on a team. What do you think, Sonny? I don't know. I haven't really
what are we drafting them for?
Yes.
That's a great question. I was thinking a reselling team, just like if you were to get a team together as resellers, which would be the best team, or we can just do something completely random, like
If it
a
was
football
basketball,
team. So we pick like 11 players or 11 resellers to kind of play positions on a football team,
Because if it's
But-
basketball, Kevin, Dave, and so they're not going high because they're so short.
No,
So
They're
No,
point
no.
guards.
Yeah.
that's
you're
why
right.
I have to ask that.
What's up, Len?
yeah. So I'm thinking just like a reselling team. So at some point, and anybody in the chat, will kind of get the pool of, depending on how many teams we have, 5 players per team, and we'll pick 40 or 45 different resellers, and we'll just start picking, and I'll have like a whole thing going.
Fantasy
So
flip.
So how do we decide that I win ultimately?
Yeah, how
that's
how
a
do we
great
know
question. I guess
Yeah, Ken
at
wins.
the
Not
at
anybody.
the
but
end, Ken, at the end,
have a
we'll
vote.
show everybody our teams, and then the chat or the people at home can decide which is the best reselling team,
Which is the best
we can
reselling
have
team?
a vote for who has the best team,
who has the best team.
and obviously there'll be favoritism for sure.
Oh, for sure, for
Oh,
sure.
for sure.
But you have to, you'll see, where we can post it on our Instagram or whatever, and people can vote who's the best reselling team. Ken's team, Jimmy's team, Sonny's team.
If it's by likes and comments, I'm definitely going to invest in some bots.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Are bribes allowed?
Bribes. Well,
Are they encouraged?
so
Is there a
we got to
prize?
think, which resellers is the best. So I think it would be a great idea.
I do too. I like it. I'm
I'd
picking
have
sad
more
juice.
people on my team than I have followers, so I don't know how that's going to work.
Oh my!
We're picking 5. So
Chad Hughes.
So when are
That's
we
funny.
putting? When we're gonna have to mastermind and put this together?
Chad,
Exactly. So I have the end of July open for Sunday nights. Okay. So, of course we don't have a show this Sunday night because of 4th of July, and then Jimmy's coming on the following Sunday. So
Sort of a big deal, folks.
sort of a big deal.
Yeah.
And then after that,
Yeah.
we have the art Arturo, the Art of Reseller, is coming on the podcast.
Vegas' very own.
Yeah, so that would be cool. And I don't think I have anybody scheduled for the next week. So we could do it in 3 weeks, but we have to come up with the pool of resellers.
Right.
Okay.
So that would be, so we can, we can have everybody back on
Yeah.
that Sunday night, and we can pick, or we don't even have to do it Sunday. We can do it Saturday or whatever, everyone's schedule works out the best.
Yeah.
When do you guys film your podcast? Isn't it Saturday?
We film it on Wednesday night.
Wednesday nights. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay. So
Yeah, I
if
mean,
anybody in
I'm-
the chat has any suggestions for players, quote unquote,
So is this open to other people say out in the chat, or is it only like a minimal amount of people that are in?
What, like us 4 picking our teams, and between the 4 of us, who has the best team, right? That's
exactly
what I'm hearing.
Exactly.
Okay.
Correct. So if we have a team of 5, we need 40. If my math is correct. Wait.
Hold on.
20?
Yeah. 20 resellers,
Well, what we could do is if we had kind of like a pre-thing, we could pick our team. You could just pick a team of guys that you like. Okay.
Okay.
And then we can compare the list. And, let's say I pick, let me see. I'm
Shad
looking
Juice.
at the chat here. I picked Shad Juice. And
No,
none
I
of you
picked
guys
Shad.
have picked. And none of you guys have picked Shad. Then he would be on my team. And then wherever there's overlap, we can have the
Well, see,
draft.
Ken, I'm thinking of the draft.
I'm
So
confused.
we
Yeah.
can compare notes, right? So if you
Yes.
have Chad Juice on your team, we can throw him in the pool, and he's
Okay.
up for fair grabs.
Does
So
he
we'll
get
compare
If he can't
resellers,
swim.
and we'll just put him in the, I guess, the draft, if you will.
Gotcha.
So, Sonny,
Okay.
quick question: what size is that shirt behind you? Is it a 2X?
It's a large, but it's a vintage large, so it's about a XL
It's
to
like a
2X.
medium. Yeah. Oh,
No, the vintage sizes run
are
larger.
they bigger? Really? I thought they would always run smaller because
If you ever come across it, if
fatter.
you don't already have one in your stash, look at the say vintage starter jackets. Even if it says small, put it on. They usually have a zipper on the rib inseam, and that it somehow magically fits a 2XL too. A small one fits large because it comes up like a V shape. It's not tubular.
Interesting.
Don't be fighting.
All right.
So what year is that Eddie shirt? Eddie.
If I were to take a guess,
Oh.
Jimmy, it would
Gotta
be 2004, 2003. 5? It's close. I was close.
Yep, it's not gonna fit me. That's for sure.
No, it's a nice one. We have, speaking of wrestling, which I'm a big wrestling fan, SummerSlam's coming here to Nashville.
Cool.
And then the next day, they're doing Ric Flair's last match here also.
Ooh.
So he's going to be wrestling.
So are you attending?
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't miss it for the world. They did a whole press conference last week, and they asked Rick, if he's concerned of any physical things that he may be concerned about. He said that, well, he does have a pacemaker. He has a pacemaker in. He has a odd inner ear, imbalance thing,
Vertigo?
and then he takes blood thinners. So he said he won't take one that day. So I hope Rick will be doing okay. by the end of the
Who's he
match.
wrestling?
It's still up in the air. They haven't announced his opponent.
Okay.
So
Speaking of attending, are you taking part of any of the big yard sale coming up out there, the 127 or whatever? Are you
asking me,
partaking-
Jimmy?
Yeah, right. Are you partaking in? Any
No,
of
I'm not. And then the reason why is because it's my wife's birthday that weekend. So I cannot go, and I wouldn't dare ask her if I could go. It's just one of those things. I've been married for 10 years. I know
that?
it's
Yeah,
like
not.
no.
Birthdays
Don't
come
even
around
say
every year.
anymore.
She'll have another one.
I know. And she'll say, "Well, you can go next year to the garage sale." She's put up with me with this reselling stuff enough, so I don't want to have to push my boundaries here,
Just get her something really nice.
I know.
I'll actually be stopping in Nashville on the way there.
Oh, then when are you coming through?
I'll be in Nashville the Thursday before.
The Thursday before?
Yeah,
What day is that? What's the date?
check.
Do you know?
I'm checking right now.
Are you spending the night here? Are you?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I am on Wednesday night.
August 4th.
I'll be
August
actually
4th.
be there Wednesday night and into Thursday, which
Okay.
is the 3rd and 4th. Sorry.
Well, hit me up. What are you staying at the Red
I don't
Roof
know
Inn
yet.
or?
I have not locked that up yet.
Well,
Be at
you
the
need to
governor's
hurry.
mansion.
Yeah, you need to hurry up because the hotels here are not cheap, especially if you're staying in Nashville. Stay somewhere outside of Nashville.
Well, I think he was mentioning that, trying to get you to say, hey, like Sonny,
Oh.
come stay at my house.
Yeah,
You're
right.
welcome here.
Like me.
Are you coming alone, Jimmy?
So I'm probably picking up my wife at the airport in Nashville.
Okay.
Still some
Your
decent-
new
plenty
wife
of-
or your current wife?
Oh,
Jimmy, you dog.
Hey, she's watching that. No, yeah, I'll be. The thing is, if she decides to go, it's still up in the air with some things going on. But
Yeah.
more than likely, I'll be picking her up in Nashville on Wednesday night.
Have you been here before, Jimmy?
I've been in that. I've drove
Okay.
through there 3 times. We stayed there twice.
Okay.
But that's been
So
10 years ago.
We need to get some hot chicken while you're here.
All right.
4th of July, the
chicken.
Nashville's Hot Chicken Festival. Go every year, so I'll be hitting that up.
Sunny sleep.
do they have a code? Chicken festival?
A what now? A cold,
Cold.
spicy hot chicken.
Yeah.
Sonny.
Is it like
Not-
really hot, really spicy? And
It
hot,
depends
or-
on what you get.
Is it sweet too, like you?
Do they have like
Ooh,
competitions?
Sonny. You know how to make a girl blush, don't you?
I wouldn't know. I'm colorblind.
Oh. Dude, are you colorblind? Isn't that you got into the army that way? Is
Yeah,
that a thing?
I was. Well, I went in as a tanker, signed up for it, and they're like, "Sorry, buddy," and that's how they got me. They got me to go in, and they're like, "Oh, I forgot to tell you, you're colorblind. You can't become a tanker." So I ended up going into logistics and started working with satellites, $1 million machines, and I was like, "This is BS," because there's a whole bunch of colors on here too.
Yeah.
How could you know though? You can't see them.
Hey, what's this over here?
Do they make like correct? Do they
It's
make
points.
correction glasses?
They do, but it's like it's so fun the way it is now. Like it doesn't matter. I'm a reseller, like there's no rips, no stains. That's all I say.
I like to read his descriptions. Yeah.
Could be a green stain,
Those things. Green.
a green or a red stain.
He's selling
So
that.
that's the colors that mess me up.
bright
is, like,
blue
brown and
t-shirt
green when
behind
they're
him.
next to each other. I can't tell them apart. The same thing with like purple and pink or blue. Sometimes I don't know why blue stands out more than anything. Which I call it my favorite color, even though majority of my wardrobe is like black. But
No rips. No.
No.
No rips,
no
no
rips, no
stains.
stains.
Sonny, I have to add though, I'm really enjoying your new the way that you're editing your YouTube videos.
Hair. Oh man, so
I really
let me
enjoy
tell
it.
you
I know
little
that
bit
you're putting in
about,
a lot of work, and I really enjoy
yeah.
it.
With my videos, I used to worry about having too much wording in the videos, but with my recent video that I released out at Broad Acres, the flea market, where I'll be over there tomorrow, there was so much noise, like vibrations from motors for the vendors turning on their generators for the light, that I knew. I even tried talking in certain parts just to test it, and it wasn't worth having people listen to that, trying to fight it. So I was like, I got it recorded. I'm not gonna not share it. So I was like, let me just put some background music, and I'm getting a lot of compliments of people saying, "Hey, I like the background music. I like how much information you have." And there's people, like I say, when you want to learn from resellers about reselling, follow other resellers. Don't just look at the numbers, who has the most subscribers and the most views, because there's information even in the smaller channels like us, even smaller, that have information that we don't have. And you just have to pay attention, sit around, do your work. And when you hear something that catches your ear, that intrigues you, stop for that moment, backspace a little bit or rewind that section, listen to it. And if you have questions, that's the whole point of the comment section. Ask those questions. What better way, to support somebody by investing a little time to watch them to help their channel, as well as help yourself. So.
I got a private conversation here. Hey, Len 5280 finds that guy returned that hat, so got that going for me.
What kind of hat did you sell, Ken?
Okay. Well, it was actually a hat I bought on Jimmy's WhatNot, one of his first WhatNot auctions.
Come on, Jimmy.
But they belong to belong to Len 5280 finds.
For 5280 fines.
And so I bought, I was trying to support my friend, and I bought this hat. It was like a off-branded USA, kind of like a tie-dyed hat. And I finally sold the darn thing for next to nothing. I probably lost on it. And then the guy returned it. Actually, I just let him keep it.
Returned it.
I'm not. I usually don't. You do that. If somebody wants a return, I make them return it. But it was such a low value. It wasn't worth my paying the postage to come back because I had free returns. And it's like, yeah.
Thanks,
but
Thanks, Misha.
Thanks for nothing, Len. Appreciate it.
Someone sent me this hat today. Look at this. It's a kid's vintage Charizard hat.
Nice.
Pretty cool, right? Vintage tag and everything on there. I have a question for all of y'all. Ken, do you sell on WhatNot also?
I do not. No.
You do not? I don't either. But I have a question for, I guess, Jimmy and Sonny. Do you think that WhatNot is worth the squeeze right now? Or in general, from you guys doing your WhatNot auctions? I know Sonny's done multiple ones. And Ken, do you have some, it looks like you have some opinions on that.
I'm looking up and waiting for Jimmy to.
No, I do not. I've actually will not be doing any WhatNot auctions anytime soon.
Why is that?
It came down to time for me. Too much time spent, not nearly enough. It's been hit and miss. And when you spend 4 hours total combined on a show and you made $3, a math again, what's that come to per hour? It's less than $1. I know that. So for me, it's not for me. I will say part of it is because I don't want to take the time to build the following and do 3 sales a week, every week that make very little money until I get that. I'm just not interested in doing that at all. So I can say for a fact, WhatNot might even say for a fact that you won't be doing a sale.
How many auctions have you done, Jimmy?
I have like 10.
You've done 10 auctions?
Probably, yeah. I had some decent ones. I still say I never got more than 50%.
Jimmy has onions
of eBay value on any of my sales.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, to each their own. And this is on my experience.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make that clear because there's a lot of opinions about WhatNot. A lot of people. This is my experience. It was not good. It was decent at its height. It was decent, and at its bottom, it was terrible for me. And so I'm done with it. Sonny, your turn.
Yes, Sonny.
On average, I was making around $250 and maybe
net.
Gross.
Okay.
No, net. It was net. And it took around 2.5, sometimes 3 hours. One thing that doesn't work for me is what is it? Like the winner's choice, where you have multiple items and you're kind of banking on that 2 people at least are gonna bid for things that they're not even interested in, But once the potential customers realize that, they're like, wait, I see what they're into. I'm not getting that. And they don't have to bid. They're not fighting each other. For some people, it works. It does not work for me. When I did the winner's choice, I tried it twice, and that was like $115 that I made. And I pretty much broke even. And even with the dollar sales, I'm not making $1. It's probably like 83 cents, 86 cents. But even losing more than that because I bought the boxes. I bought the clear sleeves, the packaging like that. So I was making pennies off of it. But I'm giving it another chance. Sunday, I have another WhatNot auction with a lot of different types of T-shirts. But it's not going to be $1 start. It's going to be $5 start. And some of them might be more. And if it doesn't work out, then that just tells me that
I tried that with hats.
It's what you're content with, what works for you. But you kind of need a following. But on WhatNot, you also don't, because you don't know who's going to pop in. They do push the channels and people could pop in and out. But then you got to keep telling people, hey, follow me. And it's like back and forth a lot. But I was on Cary Reseller. Cary Reseller Luis's his channel just a few days ago. and that was my first YouTube auction. And I had way more fun getting to know people at a slower pace, letting them getting to know me. And I had quite a bit of like less sales than I did whatnot, but I made just as much with less items, you know. And
You
he called
probably
me the
made
next day,
more.
Luis. He was up here in the chat, and he said, "Hey, you got a lot of compliments. People weren't expecting you to bring glass and the things that I did, and it was just me just giving myself a chance, like I was saying earlier. You know, give yourself a chance to just see what's going to work out." So with the way everything went on Luis's channel, I want to do more of that rather than whatnot, because now I don't have those fees from that. I would just have fees from, say, PayPal or Cash App. And Yvonne here was one of the customers that ended up buying some hats off of me, and a handful of other people. And it was just fun. It was more personable to where you get to meet the people in the YouTube, whether it's your channel or Luis's. And I don't know if I would do it on my channel. I think with what I'm doing right now, I'm still figuring out things, and I definitely need a new computer. That if Luis is saying, "Hey, when I want to go back again, just let him know, and I'll do that." So I definitely want to go back on there. It was a lot of fun.
Okay. What kind of new computer are you looking for? Are you looking for another Mac?
I don't know if I want another Mac. I think I want to try out a desktop computer. Not sure what type, but I know it's. This is one thing I also learned as a reseller. You get what you pay for. I try to skimp out on like ring lights. I got the cheapest one, but I got two for the price of one, rather than paying up for one, as they say, paying up. And it's kicked me in the butt, because it's like I need five of them when I could have just invested in something more quality that works out. So I do recommend for resellers out there, or anybody who's doing anything that you need supplies on, get the good stuff, because you're investing in yourself. That's really what you're doing.
Nice. So Ken, I'm gonna ask you
Oh,
your thoughts on whatnot.
It just didn't seem to be the platform. I had originally, kind of when all the very first hype started up, I had applied to be on Whatnot and basically had never heard anything. You were seeing a lot of folks that had really high profile um, social media accounts that were, getting accepted. And, of course, that's for Whatnot. That's what they want. People that are going to draw in a crowd. I have a very small social media, following. And then just as I watched more I watched a lot of Whatnot auctions, basically watching and supporting all of my friends that were doing it. It just didn't really seem to be the thing for me. I saw a lot of people initially. It's like, wow, I'm going to be on Whatnot, great, and they get on there, and then 2 shows they've blown through all of their inventory, and you really got to kind of start to source a little differently if you're going to maintain that the Whatnot sales than you do if you're just normally reselling. So it just didn't seem to be the platform for me. Um, I like to make money, but I'd rather focus my attention in one area. I primarily just sell on eBay. I do some Facebook Marketplace, like more local pickup stuff for bigger items and things that I don't want to ship. I'd rather focus my efforts and my time in that, making full money on items that I should get out of them, rather than letting them go less. I'm more of get rather than do the quantity of sales. I'd rather, do a less, and it's less shipping. I see these guys, oh man, I sold 65 items on Whatnot last night. And it's like, well, hell, I don't want to ship 65 items in a day. So,
and what'd you make? $65? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
if that,
$65. It's like, congratulations.
Well, the breaking point for me is I have two piles. I have a pile of new sealed VHSs that are worth on eBay $10 a piece. Put them on Whatnot, and there were crickets. Like I did an auction with those. I didn't sell any of those VHSs. I didn't sell a single one. And I ran probably 15 auctions before I finally gave up. Didn't sell a single VHS. All new sealed. I've watched enough to see people are selling those, and I got that whole pile of VHSs for really cheap. So then I just did a video about it. A bunch of trucker hats that are definitely worth some money. You know, at least $10 a piece on eBay. Ran those. Out of 25 hats, I sold like 3. I was like,
that's crazy.
Now, and again, my experience, I'm sourcing for WhatNot now, and it's not even working. You know, I'm buying in bulk deals and at good prices, and I can't even sell that stuff on WhatNot. So for me, that was kind of the breaking point for me. I like it. Cary's here, and Cary is doing amazing on WhatNot. So there is,
we can't all be Cary with a million.
You ever
followers.
think it's just you, Jimmy? You're a bit off-putting.
It definitely is probably.
I think Paul says I have 75 names. I don't have time for 75 selling platforms.
Yeah. What's up, Cary? What's up, Paul? What's up, Matt? Flippers here. Sorry.
Yeah.
A lot of people dropped in.
I haven't seen any Instagram live auctions, but if the opportunity is there for you to stream, it's just another platform. Same difference.
Yeah.
Just from.
That's true.
I was on Cali Reseller Luis. It all comes down to how are you receiving the payment. One thing I didn't do was say how fast I was going to ship the items. I tried to have it out, the following morning, but I didn't. So today was like a day and a quarter. Sal, awesome gentleman who's usually on with Gravity Goods, Cameron. He ended up buying Jimmy, that dish that you left gave me.
Oh yeah,
the Depression bowl, the glow in the dark cereal bowl. He ended up buying that for $37, free shipping though. So that's one thing too. Luis was telling me is like, if you're gonna do something, know what you're doing. He does free shipping, and he tries to have everything out the same day. But what I was doing when I saw the orders come in and I'm putting the labels is that I was going into PayPal where I was receiving most of the orders, and then from Pirate Ship copying the link or the tracking number and then putting it in PayPal to let the customer know, like, hey, here's your item, rather than they don't know. I know I sent the money, but where's it at? So it's a little process. And I just had a few items, I think maybe 9 or 10 items that I sold, but it was a stepping stone to moving up next time, maybe a little bit more, maybe, but it was a lot better than WhatNot because I was pricing things like, hey, let me do $15. And some things were going up to $45. I was pricing some things at $35. People were like, hey, I'm into it. And if they're not, then they're not, but already that was way better than WhatNot.
Yeah. I see some stuff in the chat there, Paul. The one thing I like with the WhatNot, I have enjoyed seeing all the people that I normally follow that have excelled on WhatNot. It's not a platform for everybody, but some, Paul Philly Flippers in there, Jen's Multiverse. It's just, I can't even think of all the people that are John Cincinnati Picker that just really do well, and I'm happy for them and what they were able to take that new platform and really make it work for them. Yep. Paul's got one there that he bought Disney pins for $90 at the yard sale, and he sold them all in one night for $400. Might have been $1,000 on eBay, but yeah, he cut down on all of that extra work of listing, and so it's
Yeah, I think if I would have had even a little bit of success with the VHSs in the last 2 sales I did, the VHSs and the hats, if I would have had a little bit of success, made a little bit of money on those bulk buys, I might be singing a different tune now. But the fact that they were both miserable failures of sales, like terrible, is probably why I'm just like, I spent money, I didn't make any money back. I intentionally sourced for WhatNot, and it just didn't go good at all. And so that left a really bad taste in my mouth. And
you think that WhatNot eventually, I wouldn't say go away, but just kind of become that weird reselling platform, kind of like Poshmark, that it's there, but it's not really there, per se. Because I know WhatNot is pumping in a lot of money to get, customer acquisitions, They're trying to get, everybody get that free $10 credit after that goes away, are people going to be coming on to WhatNot? You know, most of I see Sonny, I see you, Jimmy, all the ads on my YouTube when I see resellers videos or WhatNot ads. You know, so after all that money is gone, because I'm sure they're not even making. I'm sure WhatNot probably isn't making any money as a business right now because it's so new. But after all that's gone, do you think it'll still be the trendy reselling platform?
I definitely don't think it'll be the trendy one. I think it'll have, like, so you brought up Johnson. Well, I think what John is doing on there is genius. With the way he moved to sports cards and he's doing the breaks and stuff.
The breaks,
that's got a place there.
Him over the years doing that.
Yeah, I'll go watch John's breaks just because I enjoy the heck out of it. So I mean, I don't know, and he's doing great with those breaks. And those breaks are.
You think those are successful because sports cards right now are in a weird, would say, market because they're still rare to find most places, right? And then just through COVID, everyone got back on the hobby, so that's why it's rare. So if sports cards was what it was maybe 3 years ago, would that even be people even care?
No, I mean, one of the big changes to sports cards was the fact that it's more. The big change they made is it's more like a lottery now. Like base cards don't have a lot of value. Like it used to be all just base cards. You would open packs, just get rookies and base cards.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now they got all the like little lottery hits in there.
The chase cards,
yeah, the chase stuff. So like, I think that's a big part of why cards are going to stay hot for a while because not everybody's going to get. There's numbered stuff in there. There's autograph stuff in there. There's special inserts that are not overproduced. Like it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess it's with everything though. If you're selling what's hot,
an actual expert who doesn't suck like we do about
on WhatNot.
Yeah, we got a live caller right now. We're gonna bring him on. You might know him, you might not.
Okay,
but if you do, put your hands up, little hands up emojis for the one and only.
Oh dear, here we go.
Cary.
What's up, Cary?
Can you hear me okay? My mic's being
Cary,
weird.
did you comb your hair for this?
Yeah. Look at that. I look good.
So did I.
I look good. Are you guys talking about WhatNot?
Cary,
we are.
Give us your 3 cents.
It's over. It's dead. WhatNot is dead. I'm putting out the YouTube video before everybody else does. No, it's not dead. It's an auction, guys. That's what people don't realize about WhatNot. It's not a money printing machine. It's an auction, and auctions are difficult. I've been doing like live auctions in person for years, and every week's different. You got to be consistent. It's a tough gambit with WhatNot too, because you kind of have to sacrifice good stuff sometimes, and then sometimes you could sacrifice that good stuff and the people don't show up and you just give stuff away. Sometimes you have good days. But I saw that Jimmy was talking about sports cards. I think that's actually improving because the shipping and all the issues that are happening. It's easier and cheaper to get more cards now on WhatNot. Yep. And there's more options too. Loop just got a hold of me today and wanted me to start doing auctions there. I don't know, but we'll see.
What is Loop?
Loop is sports cards only right now, I believe.
Okay.
But it's live auctions, and they've been around for a long time, like a year or two. And then eBay's doing lives, which I'm 99% sure they'll screw up almost totally. They'll figure out a way to make sure you don't get paid for 5 to 10 days or something. It'll be awesome.
Now I see, with the WhatNot's a big hype, and it's the newest platform, and everybody's making a lot of money selling on it. You think that, and then you hear, WhatNot's going to take over eBay and everybody's going to be off eBay.
No.
Do you think WhatNot will build their platform and just then sell out to somebody bigger? Like, will somebody like eBay just buy the WhatNot platform after they have built it up?
That would be terrible news if eBay bought WhatNot, because WhatNot would probably get destroyed if that happened.
Shut her down.
I don't want eBay getting involved with WhatNot, and I don't think eBay's live auctions are going to be very successful in the long term. Just my hunch, but I could be totally wrong. But I think WhatNot, if they're smart, They're not going to sell. They're going to build it up. It's different than eBay. It's a different thing. So I think anybody who in the future, in the next 10 years is selling, maybe not 5 or 10, but next 2 or 3 years, I think it's going to be fairly normal to do a couple WhatNot auctions a month and then do your typical eBay grind. I think it's going to be fairly normal. And it's a good way to move inventory that's stale, or if you get a certain collection in, you go out and you buy VHS might be a little tough, but if you go out and buy cards or toys,
Jimmy.
and you know,
So basically moving my whole inventory.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not sure
stale.
if I want to be. I'm not sure if I want to be putting like sealed toys up on WhatNot, but like loose, good Marvel Legend figures, and if you're finding them at the right price, or a bunch of Marvel elite WWE figures or basic WWE figures, say 50 or 100, I think WhatNot's a fairly effective way to get rid of it. You get similar, you know, $1 or $2 less maybe per figure, but you can move them all in a night and move on. And I have Dawn to ship everything, so it's not like I got to worry about that. So,
Cary, what have you
I
seen?
got to talk to Sonya about that.
What have you seen the most success?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. What have you seen the most success out of your WhatNot auctions of the things that you've been selling the most consistently, and for the best value of sports cards, action
that's a
figures,
tough one.
plush?
And in that value, I want, like, a big part of it is the sourcing, because like that's what happened to me. I ran out of my stale inventory. Then I tried sourcing for WhatNot, and obviously that's where I failed. So that's
I did that.
Part of it is, you know,
I was going to
the items.
I was at the very start. I was brought on to be a toy seller, and you know, I got paid a little bit to come on, which it happens to some people. It doesn't happen as much anymore, but it happened 6-7 months ago. And I was like having to put on a toy auction, and I ran out of toys too. So I was going and sourcing at a toy shop and paying kind of top dollar for stuff. So it wasn't super profitable. But toys, I mean, really, cards breaks have been pretty decent for me.
Yeah.
I've had some big come ups with breaks, but then I've also had flops. It's like when the thing I've learned about doing auctions, and I've done 50, 60 live ones on top of the WhatNot ones, is anytime you think you know what's happening, you don't. And the next week or the next auction is completely different. And it's you know, you just have to realize you're putting stuff up that you're willing to let go. You know, that's why it's good if it's stale. If it's like a $50 item, but you've had it on eBay and you've given discounts and it's been on eBay for 6 months, just let it go. You know, whether you want to start it at $1 or not, I guess is debatable, but like just start it, let it go. It's a sunk cost. Take whatever money you can get out of it and go, you know, buy some sealed VHS or Avon bottles, something that'll sell.
No, sealed VHS will not sell. No, but that's the big question for me.
You haven't looked at that Disney
when you
Black
have
Diamond,
to start sourcing for it, right, Cary? Like that's when things changed for me. When I had to start, because I was out of stale stuff and I had to start sourcing for it.
And see, I went the opposite way. I bought all of Jimmy's stale stuff, you know,
and now
trying to
it's
be a
your stale
supportive
stuff.
friend. Yeah, now it's
So we got to help each other
lost.
out. We got to buy each other stale merchandise and circle of life.
A lot of the successful WhatNot auctions I've seen, and this doesn't mean like it has 30, 50, 100 people in the live auctions. I've seen like 5, 10 and make really good money off of it, is that they're prompt and they're not long-winded in what they're doing. I get out of auctions, like I look in them not only to learn, but see what I could come across do for a good deal or something that I didn't know what I wanted until I seen it. And when they're taking too long and they're like, I'm taking a break, then what are you doing here? You know, like I feel like you're here to sell. Show me some stuff.
That's huge. You got to be brisk. You got to be brisk. You got to move stuff through and quickly, because that's like my biggest pet peeve. And it happens with sports cards a lot, where they're like talking for 20 minutes in between, and that's ridiculous. So you want to be quick, but also you guys got to, I mean, we all know this. We're doing YouTube videos. It's entertainment. You have to, you know, you don't have to be like a comic or anything, but you need to, you know, just show your personality, have fun, make it a good vibe. There's a lot of ways to do that, but I think it's got to be entertaining and quick, and you don't waste people's time, but they also enjoy hanging out if they're not buying, because they might not buy this time, but they may buy next time. So make it a place people want to hang out.
You ever done any comedy, Cary? I feel like you got a good 10 minutes in you.
Can I say something about that?
That's my goal. That's my goal.
If you had watched yesterday's live, if you had the time, he mentioned that he wants to do live comedy.
Yeah, I think
Stand-up?
here in Vegas, I'm going to try stand-up, yeah. I don't know if, now that sounds arrogant, like I don't think I'll be very good, but I would love
Not
the
yet.
experience. And I think I could be good. That's fair. But like I would suck right now, but I would love to try it. I would love to try it. And
Yeah.
life's all about pushing yourself, and why not try something interesting? I'm already retired, just doing reselling. I'm not doing a real job anymore, so why not just do that too?
Maybe you could just get Dawn to tell the jokes too. There you go. She's done this.
That would be ideal, yeah. As long as I get the
the
paycheck,
first-
Yeah,
That's
first
always been my dream
reseller.
too, to do some stand-up comedy. I actually finished third in a competition once.
Out of
I
three.
did stand-up comedy.
That's
Hey.
awesome.
Hey, it doesn't matter that there were only 3 people. I went
Oh
out
my
there and I
gosh.
did it.
Yeah.
Is that a joke? Is that a joke that you told during your
No.
competition?
That is not. I told some pretty bad jokes, but it was fun. It was a good experience, and
It's all about figuring out your style. I don't know what my style would be. It wouldn't be like straight up jokes. It would have to be super self-deprecating, and maybe I have to have like a banjo or something to keep people entertained. I don't know.
You need
I have no
Kevin
idea.
right there next to you, and just
I need somebody just to riff off.
Kevin the whole time.
Yeah, just like lower the microphone so he could speak into it every now and then.
last clickbait podcast was all bad jokes. Paul says.
Yeah, that's what I heard. It was just straight bad jokes. I love it though. It's creative, and I think people,
It was,
lose that in WhatNot and YouTube. And Ray, you're great at this. You're super creative. You're always trying new things. The reseller news. I mean, I think you kind of just mess around with stuff till you figure out what you love, and when you're sick of something, you get rid of it.
I just get bored. I'm like, I want to do
Yeah,
something
me
different.
too.
Yeah, you
I
can
hear
edit
you,
my
man.
video then.
Hell
hell,
yeah,
I'm bored right now.
me too.
Well, hey, Cary, at the FlipCon, you can get up there and, do a couple jokes.
Oh, there you
10
go.
minutes.
Here's the funny thing about FlipCon, guys. They had me. This is hilarious. The first message they sent me is I was going to be on the optimization panel, and it's like you
What does
guys
that even
like I'm
mean?
not the one, I don't know what that means. Two, it's like I'm not that guy. I'm not the guy that's going to tell you how to be organized and optimize your business. So they moved me without me even asking. They thought about it for a couple hours and they moved me to growing social media. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But
What are
yeah,
the panels?
optimization. I would have BS the optimization thing. I'll be honest. I would have acted like I knew what I was talking about, but it would have been terrible.
That's awesome.
Do you know all the panels? Like all the different optimization?
There's optimization and
Growing your
there's
social
social
media, which
media.
is-
I don't know who's on the panels, and I don't know all the panels, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but whatever. But yeah, there's a few panels, and then I know Trash to Cash gets like half the lunch to do our podcast. So we're going to do like a live, like we're just going to, I don't know what we're supposed to do, but I'm just going to make fun of people for 45 minutes in person to their face. It's going to be beautiful.
There you go.
Lovingly. It's going to be in jest. It's not going to be mean-spirited, but
Well, that's a big part of a successful podcast is understanding that. Like me and Ken, we both like, I'm
Oh,
gonna make
look
fun
at
of you.
Look at Jimmy bringing
You
it back
better
to the
make fun of
topic.
me. Like, you better make fun
yeah, the
of me.
podcast, baby.
So with podcasts, right now we got 3 people, 2 separate podcasts. Of course, Trash to Cash podcast was first.
3 podcasts.
So Cary, when
No,
you,
Reseller. Yours was first, Ray, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We've been doing our podcast for around 2 to 3
actually,
years
yeah,
now.
That's true.
So it originally started just Dustin and I talking about our week in reselling, thus the name This Week in Reselling. And then we started having guests on, and then it's been more of an interview show. Get to get to meet the reseller behind the reselling, I guess. So Cary's been on,
Yeah.
Sonny's been on, Jimmy's going to be
It was
on.
tough. You guys tried really hard to expose me. It was
Yeah.
hard hitting the interview.
We need a part 2,
Like
Cary.
chopped liver.
I'll
Ken,
do it
hey.
whenever, man. You know me.
Yeah,
I'm easy.
Cary
I'll
goes
ask you to
twice.
be on for sure.
Sonny's been on. Jimmy's been on.
What's that?
Cary gets to go twice.
So
You guys put so much
Jimmy
thought into your podcast.
he has
name.
not been
I'm
on yet.
You're putting
Yeah.
thoughts.
We got to get Ronnie Hart. You got to get Ronnie Hart on. He knows everything about clothing.
Ronnie Hart is right there. He's up in the top.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Get Ronnie on.
Yeah.
Yeah, when
So,
we named
it's
our
kind of
podcast, I was like,
and I've had
oh, sorry.
can't
people
have
say
silence,
no.
guys. We
Like
gotta
I've
move.
asked people, Yeah. I've asked people, would you like to be on the podcast? And they're like, no, I'm okay. And I'm like, okay, which makes me feel a little weird, but you got to ask, right?
I think for people not doing it the first time, it is a little awkward, but I feel if you want to grow your channel on any social media platform, if that opportunity comes, if you're already watching them, you already know them in a way, like go for it, give yourself that chance to see what happens.
A podcast is a great way.
Sponsors, yeah.
It's a great way for people to get to know you. It's a great way for people to get to know you. I was the TikTok guy doing 15-second repetitive and annoying videos for like 2 years, and then I decided to, and then people got to know me. Podcasts are a great way for people who are into what you're doing to kind of really get to know you and what makes you tick, and then hopefully they enjoy it. That's the key.
Yeah, I mean, that's now I call you the king of one-liners. Like, you have some of the best one-liners on that podcast. I think I've talked to you, and you said you love the fact that you're able to do that now, on TikTok.
And I didn't used to do that. It took me 2 years before I realized I should just kind of be myself. You know what I mean? It took me 2 years of doing the what sold videos the way everybody does what sold videos or whatever. It took me a long time to kind of realize I should just bank on who I am, because that's the only thing that differentiates me from anybody else, or you from anybody else is you. So whatever makes you tick, whatever's interesting, you like the Mighty Ducks, you like eating pancakes on the sidewalk at 4 a.m., whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Just lean in, all in.
Pancakes.
Yeah, I don't.
Are you taking notes, Jimmy, by any chance?
You've never been there, Jimmy?
Huh?
Cary, I don't know if you heard my idea earlier, but I thought of a great idea of having a reseller draft. So we're going to pick 4 teams. We're going to have a pool of resellers, and we're going to pick a team of 5. Okay. So
what are we going to do once we're drafted? Are we going to play basketball or LARP or something?
Yeah.
LARPing is a great idea.
Dude, LARPing is good exercise, and I need it.
Hey,
I need exercise.
Bolo, Nerf battle axe.
Dude.
That's Bolo right there.
The Nerf weapons, like the Nerf swords, the battle axe, I guess technically you could hit somebody over the head with a blaster. It really doesn't matter, but they're good.
Mm-hmm. That's a Bolo for you. Cary, since you're on here, I have a TikTok question.
Weaseled my way on here.
I have a TikTok question for you. What's going on TikTok? Every time I get on there, I don't even know, the notification thing is all screwed up now. I can barely get 1 follower a day now. It's dying. It's just dying.
It's the algorithm is totally changed. I was going up and up and up and up for years, and now I've stalled out, and there's days where I'm going down. The algorithm's changed. I think the golden opportunity, the gold rush of TikTok is probably on the downswing. You could still have that big hit. It's a lot harder to have a big hit on a reselling channel because the big hits are going to be more generic in general. Mm-hmm. And once I got to a certain point on TikTok, it wasn't really about how do you sell this or eBay questions. It was what kind of content will, be interesting for the most amount of people. That's why I'll talk a lot about like Marvel stuff or Legos, because there's people interested in that, millions. But it's different. Facebook Reels is where a lot of the action is right now. My Facebook Reels is blowing up. Dawn's is blowing up. And it's the same thing, same video. Just put it on Facebook. Put your video everywhere.
Your Facebook Reels. So do you have a Facebook page and then you just upload that on your page?
I have 2. I have a Facebook Reels page and a Facebook business page that has long form videos. My last long form video didn't do 2,000, I think, on YouTube, and it's at 110,000 views on Facebook. I don't know why. It's not very good, but let's just be honest. It's no Sonny. Sonny, by the way, Sonny is great. You guys, if you're not watching Sonny's long form videos, I'm pretty much just trying to copy him at this point because he does really good stuff.
Agreed.
Cool editing. I'm not the big editor. I haven't had to have that talent at this point, but I'm learning. And Sonny and Art of Resell, another Vegas guy, he's the king of cool edits. I don't know if you need that. You don't necessarily need that, but it's an interesting way to go.
I feel with Art, that is his style. The way he talks and the way it comes out, what you see in the videos is his mind of things are popping off. And I used to be a lot wilder and popping off and super excited. but I've transitioned to where I need to calm down because of other things like PTSD. If I get too excited, I don't know how to calm down. So I've learned also through meds, which has been very helpful, to stay calm. And it's helped me actually focus more on YouTube to where I can just sit down and do something. Like my last two videos I was saying earlier took 10 and a half hours each. That's a whole day out of the
Wow,
week,
dude.
you know. But I've been
That's
able to focus
crazy.
and sit there and knock it out. Before it would probably be like 30 minutes in and I'm anxious, giving myself something else in my head I need to do. Multitasking is not the way. Focus on one thing, do as much as you can until you burn out, refresh, go to something else. Do what works for you. For me, I'm figuring things out on my content that actually works, that I was against, like putting too much information, what I was opinionated on, too much info on the screen because people didn't want to read. And with what I've been doing lately, I'm seeing people are more interested in that. They want more information, they want to learn, and at the same time, being myself is entertaining for some people.
Sonny, what do you think you spend the most time on when you're editing videos? So it's like the idea, like 10 hours.
No, my ideas there is just my computer's been crashing. Like
Okay, so it's more
when
of
it crashes,
your tools.
It doesn't save everything. Even if I just saved it, it crashed 2 minutes later, and it doesn't save majority of the things. So I got to start almost over, you know. And it happens at least 2 or 3 times, and then trying to upload it on YouTube. Like it's not my internet, it's my computer. So that's what I'm working on right now. It's just funds for the computer.
Do you have a buy me a coffee or anything down below? You need, like a buy me a PC?
So do you want to straight out buy me a PC? I got buy
I
me
mean,
a
there's
coffee.
27 people.
Yeah.
There's 27 people in the chat.
All that
Everybody
money you're
donated
wasting on
$10.
all that money you're wasting on Kevin's stupid shed, give it to Sonny. Sonny needs it. It's going to help him edit. Kevin's fine. He's just sitting out with chickens all day while his family does the work. So just give it to Sonny.
Yeah,
Kevin's not
send it
watching.
over.
So no.
Hand it over. No, but
Hand it
I
over.
enjoy what I'm doing. Like, and my focus is a lot more clear than what it was before. Like I said, I was really scatterbrained. I'm still now scatterbrained, but now I'm able to just focus on things and enjoy it, and it's paying off because the comments I'm getting back, it's supportive. It doesn't have to be a supportive comment, but a comment to say somebody likes something, that's supportive to me. That something's working, and I just try to do more of what people are asking for because I'm already doing it. So I'm trying to just making sure I capture those times or those edits or things like that.
Yeah, it's good work, man. It's good work.
That's good. Yeah, that's good work. Good work. Good work.
Cary mentioned this yesterday in his life. FCC wants to shut it down, talking about TikTok. I don't think they will.
Nah, they won't. I mean, they won't. I'm sure they want to shut it down. There's too much money involved, I think, and too many kickbacks that these politicians can get from ByteDance or whoever owns it. I don't think it's logically going to happen. But the cool thing is, whatever you learn from TikTok or doing short form videos are here to stay. Period. Whether TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Pinterest is now starting to monetize. I mean, it's getting ridiculous. The places. I'm pretty sure IHOP's going to have an app for short form videos soon. So it's going to be a skill that's going to at least pay for a little while, and it's fun. It's a lot easier than
pay you now
YouTube.
$3 to go pick up your own food or something?
Pancakes.
I think that's
Yeah.
Domino's.
Pay you know, to buy from them, but they pay you back. It's so crazy.
IHOP pancakes 4 a.m. on the sidewalk. I see it. I can see it. I see what you're doing.
Exactly.
You've ever been-
I'm
have you ever
angling
been
for an
there,
IHOP
Jimmy?
gig.
Huh?
Get
I feel like
IHOPs.
you've worked at an IHOP before, Cary.
Oh no, I've worked at a lot of places. I have not been fired from an IHOP, but I once quit an Olive Garden with just a letter in the door, like a psychopath. I don't know why I didn't just call them, but I was too nervous, so I just left a letter in the door at like 6 a.m. and I never came back. I don't know why I did that.
That's
Is
hilarious.
that weird?
Pancakes on the sidewalk. Like,
What did the
quit.
letter say?
Like I don't want to do this anymore.
Crispy.
But I was the worst waiter at Olive Garden. I think I spilt Coke.
It was his
and sodas on
application for
people.
Applebee's.
Yeah, I'm not Applebee's material.
Mikey.
I'm not a good waiter. I'm nice to people, but I suck at the basic job requirements.
I remember
Holding
my
food.
my first legal job when I was of age, because I used to work in the fields picking fruits and vegetables. But when I became 16, my parents signed a waiver out in Texas, and I messed up on my first order, and it happened to be my science teacher and then some person that I didn't know, and I screwed up their pizzas, and they both looked at each other like, "Oh, poor guy," you know. They're like, "Hey, that looks pretty good. How about I get your pizza and I get that pizza, and we'll just say it's okay." You know, like that's how bad it was. But it's cool that there's people out there like that. That is not always, I asked for this and it's the way it went. It was just, I would never forget that. That people were just open sometimes, like, "Oh well, you know, stuff happens."
Right.
What's the worst restaurant anybody's ever eaten at?
I've had the worst experience at Red Robin.
Red Robin.
Red Robin.
I'm addicted. Yum. Yeah. I'm addicted to Red Robin, but that's not good for me. I got to stay away from that place. What happened at Red Robin?
Let me know when you go the next time, Cary. That's not too far from us. That's like in between us too.
Is it really? Let's go.
Yeah. And speaking of the worst places, the guy that I have highlighted here, perfect timing, Mikey Bags' Money. I was with him earlier. With,
Mikey Bags.
Cary, the lady, and himself. Like I said, we went out to Savers. I'll have that probably recording out in a few days. But Dave NC Picker, who Cary is very, very familiar with, said he needed to try this one place.
Terrible
so
person.
He's going to go and try this one place that he went to. He said the service sucked, but he went anyways.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta go. Sometimes it's like a bad movie.
Oh, yes. Ellis Island. Oh, that place is a complete hellhole. Oh, my gosh.
That's a bad steak.
I can't even think of the worst place I've eaten.
Say, "Hey, that movie sucks. Don't watch it." And you're like, "I gotta watch it."
No, I think you should go to. I think you can go to. You should go to Ellis Island and try it, but you just got to make sure you buy like one of those 20 packs of toilet paper because you're going to be spending the next day going to work.
$99 or $9.99 steak.
So
oh man, don't have their garlic bread at Ellis Island. It's literally like a stale baguette with like butter on it and no garlic. And I didn't know, like I could have made that better at 12, and I can't cook, and I'm 38. I probably would be worse now than when I was 12. I cook even less now, but yeah, it's terrible. That place is terrible.
Real quick, the Red Robin story. I have to tell it.
Yes.
Here.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
We're sitting there eating, and I don't like to complain at restaurants. If I'm not enjoying, we just, we won't go there, or I won't order it again. So Sonia's complaining about her chicken sandwich, and I'm like, okay, I'm sorry your sandwich isn't good. Like, I'm sorry, don't order it again. But can we finish our, here you can have some of my food or whatever. And she's just like, no, and she's eating, like, complaining. She's like, it just doesn't taste right. She goes like this and shows it to me, and it's raw. In the middle, the middle of the chicken sandwich is raw.
Oh man,
terrible. And I was like, yeah,
chicken tartare. Yeah.
I was like, no, that's wrong.
Red Robin.
How much did she eat of it? Did she get sick?
She took quite a few, not half of it, but she took probably 3 bites, good bites out of the chicken. It was awful. So yeah, that's why we haven't been back to Red Robin since then, actually. And that's been years ago. So
do better, Red Robin.
I don't even know if it's good because we have not been back there. Sorry, Red Robin.
Sorry. Red Robin's garbage. Unless you sponsor Sonny's channel, then we all love Red Robin.
Yes.
And we eat there daily.
Hashtag endless basket. Don't they have endless fries?
Fries.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They don't like to give you the endless fries though. They're really coy about it. You have to be pretty aggressive. You have to pound tables to get that endless fries coming.
More fries.
Man, I'm hungry now. We should all just go to dinner after this.
Let's do it.
That's true.
So, I mean, half of you guys live in Las Vegas. What's going on with Las Vegas? It's like the reseller mecca all of a sudden.
All the great content's coming out of Art, Cary, Sony, everybody. Sony,
a lot of good stuff.
Sony Corporation, the Sonny Corporation.
Yeah, I got an umbrella. The umbrella company.
Cary, what made you move to Vegas?
Yeah.
Boredom, maybe. No, it's just the weather's a big part. I hate the weather in Utah, especially in this winter. In the winter, it snows a lot, and I always slip and fall and almost like pull my knee apart. So it's not good. I don't like that. And we just, I don't know, we just felt like doing it, and we did it. I don't know how to explain it. It just kind of felt right. It's exciting, something new. Dawn hadn't really ever moved out of Utah since she was a little kid. So it's kind of exciting. A lot to do here, a lot of thrifting, a lot of good people. like 110 degrees, which I'm built for. I'm just
Yes.
walking around shirtless all day. It's amazing.
Showing off that six pack.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
always
there's a
say
six pack under there. Yeah.
I've lived in
How many
Ohio
nipples
all my
do you
life,
have,
but
Cary?
What?
How
How many nipples do you have?
Three
Legally?
more than you think.
Yeah, legally I have 4.
Legally.
But legally. That's what I'm allowed to say. The rest I can't
I gotcha.
disclose, but yes.
It's on your birth
That'd be-
certificate.
You plead the fifth.
That I love, man. Kevin, man, we all play characters on that podcast, really, guys. We're just playing characters. Like, Kevin is amplifying all his nerdy tendencies, and we're doing the same thing. I'm glad Kevin rolls with us, though, because I think I started spouting that stuff out before I knew if he would hang with that or not. So, luckily, he's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's awesome that you guys can joke with each other like that and just roll with it. I think it's genius. It's comical genius.
Yeah, keep it coming.
I'll just keep feeding you.
Just kidding.
Jimmy just has so many flaws; it comes easy for me. I don't have to make anything up. I just be natural.
In a
about
nutshell, I have.
In a nutshell, yeah, Jimmy's.
Sorry.
Ken, I think Cary might be your twin.
Yes. Yeah, I see it. I need one of those.
Talk to your fathers.
One of those newsy hats, and I'd be there.
Oh, which reminds me, Cary, I have a lot of your Mexican children contacting me, letters from when you were in Mexico saying, "Hey."
Oh yeah, they're like all like 18 now. Dang it!
know.
I guess I don't have to. I guess I got out of that one.
It's like 3 Marias, 4 Juans.
I was a Mormon missionary, and typically part of being a Mormon missionary is not hooking up with people while you're down there. We were just literally 12 hours a day
part of it.
walking around, knocking on people's door. And then every time, this was what happened. Everybody was super nice. They would give us water and they'd give us food and they'd ask us 2 questions. Do you know, this is 2003, 4, 5. Do you know Britney Spears? That was a big one. And do you know George Bush? Those were the 2 we got all day. And I would be like, yeah, what do you want to know? I'll call them up right now. We got that all day. It was funny.
You're being serious right now, too.
We got that question a lot, honest. Like, it was like, you know, what do you know? It wasn't always like, do you know, but what do you know? Or, oh, yeah, Britney Spears. She was a big deal back in 2004, guys.
Haven't heard
She
of
was. Britney Spears.
She still is.
I'll have
think
to look
she's a
her up or
poet.
Google. Britney Spears.
In case you're wondering.
Who is
she
Britney
did it
Spears?
again.
I know Ashley Spears. I don't know Britney Spears.
I don't know who either of them are.
Sonny
That was
awake?
her sister, for the people that don't know.
Oh,
Sonny, you
I
okay?
had this guy saying he wants his little homies hat. Remember the little Mexican toy? Speaking of
homies.
Ray over here,
The homies.
they kind of look like Ray, but he wants
It's a
a
bad
local
stereotype
pickup.
there, Sonny.
You just stereotype Cary. So he was
What are you
doing,
talking about?
wants his hat or this hat and was saying, is it authentically vintage? When there's no other hat like it, I just put that it's rare. And first he wants to do a local pickup. Now he's questioning, you know, like, is it authentic? And I was just like, come on, man.
No, it's not. I made it myself.
Yeah, I made it up.
Yeah,
Do you do a lot of local pickups on eBay?
you make this?
No, this would be my second one in a month. It's kind of been like people asking, but I don't have it available. If they ask, then I put it in there. But I already sent the offer out, so I can't adjust any information on it. You know, but now that he's asking these questions, it's just like I'm probably gonna block him.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Yeah,
deal
that
with
seems
that.
a little shady. Buying homie dolls. It's probably MS-13, man. You never know.
Oh, definitely not going.
Huh?
Definitely
Straight
not
from
going.
El Salvador.
It's actually one of Carrie's many children that's trying to.
Cary, do you have any MS-13 tattoos on your belly or on your chest next to any of those 7 nipples that you have?
I'm going to head out, guys. I'm going to head out.
All right.
I'm back.
But hey, seriously though, I do need to go. So appreciate you guys
Okay.
having me on. We'll talk about the reseller draft.
Yeah.
And,
Yes.
That sounds like a cool idea and fun.
yeah. So Cary,
For
you
sure.
can hopefully be #1 pick overall.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us, give
that'd
us
be
your
nice. I don't know what it means.
stats. Give us like your Like if we
I go
were
to,
to
like-
pick you,
I go to like 3 to 4 sales a week. I'm finding $5 to $10 of profit per sale. I'm making $30 to $40 a week, minus fees and everything. So I'm not making much money at all. I'm not what they would call a good picker or even average, but I make up for it in crappy content.
Hey, you know, Jill was
Sold.
right there when she said, Ken, I think Cary might be your twin. I mean, that's my business model right there.
No, I buy, I mean, like what I've been doing lately is I'm buying, like I bought another big stack of sports cards and I find a lot of deals and I sell a lot of them. So everybody has their own thing.
there you go. All right, guys. My name is Ray. We'll catch you
Ray.
guys on the flip side.
Nashville
See y'all.
Flippers is out.
See y'all.
Later, Ray.
And there were 4.
And we're actually at the 2-hour mark, folks. Cary, thanks for coming in, sharing some info
Yeah,
and whatnot.
Fun.
We're gonna meet up Saturday, right?
Yeah, man, we're going to go garage selling, right?
Yeah. If not garage
I'll be
sailing,
there.
if there's nothing out here because of the heat, we'll go to some thrift stores.
Yeah, I'm down, man. I'm down to just find steals and deals and make sure you get nothing, man. I'm just going to find out every time you go to grab something, I'm just going to grab it and say I was first. I'm just kidding. I won't do that. It'll be fun. I'm
that
looking forward to it, dude.
He's gonna send your videos. He's gonna send his videos to you to edit as well.
Yeah.
No, I hope, yeah. I'd like to cut that out of my workload right now. I need a little
that
bit more
heat
time to
wouldn't
relax.
bother me.
I don't mind the heat. It's not terrible. It's not as bad as I thought it would be, honestly.
100 times.
It's 'cause
I
not-
was built
You're
for
not
a
really
desert
in the
climate.
heat, you know, like it gets hot, but you're not in the heat just sitting out there because it's hot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not out there like doing construction. I'm inside posting sports cards on the internet and wasting time on TikTok. So
Thank you, Puffles. Yeah, everybody be safe. This is always when it's big holidays and stuff.
yeah,
There's usually
Yes.
a lot happens. Just be careful out there.
Yeah, they just legalized fireworks here in Ohio to during certain days and certain times. The class 1 fireworks or whatever they are. So expecting a lot of accidents this year with more folks blowing their fingers off and putting it on.
Crystal, Rosie's Closet. No Ben's tomorrow. I will start going again next week. And if Cary wants to go, I'll scoop him up since I go down towards
me and Don were talking about going to the bins with you if you want to go because you know more. Don wants to learn clothing. I don't really care too much about clothing, but she wants to learn. I think you know a lot more than both of us. So
We could go Saturday.
I'm down. Yeah, we can go Saturday.
Yeah. We'll see
Let's
if Crystal goes. She usually goes around 11 with Angel, who's in the chat too.
Is it
we
just
could-
the
we
one
could go there.
bins like downtownish, or is there more than one in Vegas?
There used to be 2, but there's only 1 now. There used to be 1 up closer towards where we're at, but the bigger one is now over there towards Silvertongue Casino. I don't know if you know where that's at.
Oh, I've been to the one here in Vegas recently.
Okay.
I just was wondering if there was another one.
Yeah, we'll see.
The bins
Yeah,
are
we can
great,
go
guys.
there.
Go to the bins, get some deals, and get your hand cut on glass or whatever's in those bins.
I don't use gloves at the bins.
Me
I get
neither.
one.
I'm just gonna go for it.
I drink tap water. I'll be all right.
I've heard you're not supposed to do that in Vegas.
Yeah, I do.
Nice.
All right, Robert, take it easy. Everybody, take it easy. Thanks for coming in the chat. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that thumbs up button on your way out. Stay tuned for more of our content. And Cary is on YouTube a lot more lately, so make sure to go and follow as well.
Yeah,
thank
thanks,
you,
guys.
Cary, for coming in. They were talking about
thanks for letting me
WhatNot, so I
hang
hit
out.
up Cary. He was
Yeah.
in the chat, and I
Good.
said, hey, you want to come and spill some info on WhatNot? Because there was a lot of bashing, and he does very good in it. So you can learn a lot from him as well as others. But appreciate you guys coming in. If Jimmy and Ken, want to tell them more about your podcast before you head out? Any insight?
Go ahead.
Reseller Clickbait Podcast. We usually put out new episodes every Monday at 11 a.m. Check out our channel on YouTube and also all your favorite YouTube or your favorite
Podcast streaming devices.
podcast streaming. There you man. I should have let you do this part of the show, Jimmy. But appreciate it, Sonny.
Yeah.
Cary, it's always fun, always enjoy, and inspiration
likewise.
is the trash to cash. Love watching that every week. So it's good fun. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on, Sonny.
You're welcome. Jimmy.
Ken said it. Reseller Clickbait Podcast Mondays at 9 o'clock my time. And then my YouTube channel, I'm putting out 2 videos a week. Thursday.
Are you gonna plug? Are you gonna plug your ASMR channel you don't share with everybody?
Which one's
It's
one
good.
where I breathe?
It's good.
It's where I breathe really heavy, just like this, for an hour.
And it's just 8-hour loops, so you can get all those rewatches while people sleep.
Optimus Prime.
All right, Crystal and Angel, I'll let you know about Saturday if you're gonna go see if Cary and I and Don could meet up with y'all over there at the bins, and then maybe do some thrifting too. We'll see. But thank you everybody for coming through. Stay tuned next Thursday for another live. Don't know who I'm gonna have on, but you never know who might come on, just like today. So also check out Ray Nashville Flippers channel, doing a lot of stuff on there end too. I believe I forgot to tell them congratulations. I think they just hit 7,000 subscribers, so that's pretty awesome. All right, yeah, that is it.